Hey y'all, the countdown is on for my trip to Disney, and so I want to get another title page done for the parks. This one is going to be for Animal Kingdom. We're only doing really a half day at Animal Kingdom on our last day. And we won't get to do everything in the park, but that's okay. So the word kingdom's pretty long, and so I decided to do it long ways on this piece of paper. This is just over 6 by 8. It's actually, I think it's 6.5. Let's see what it says. Almost 7, actually. Close, almost 7 inches wide. So what I thought I'd do is let's do layers here and a few layers going this way, and then I have room for a photo here. I'll need to remember it needs to be a vertical photo, which is good because they have the tree. So I did have a different piece of paper picked out for this with a big tree on it, but then it was just going to be too much green. So I want to bring in some other colors. And of course, Animal Kingdom is a lot about earth colors and things like that. So that's what I'm going to do. So even these are 6 by 8, and so this is about a 1/4 of an inch longer than that, because these will serve as sort of markers in the album. So let's just do some All right, so I've sped up the rest of the video until the very, very end. I'm just sort of doing random width strips. I did have a few border strips, those run about 1/2 inch. So I'm just sort of randomizing a little bit what I want there. Now, 2 of the papers, I've got the dark green and I've got the bright green. Those are the colors in the little title blocks, letter blocks. And so I want to include those in my strips, but I don't want the letter blocks to be on top of them. So I have to sort of strategically position them. I did cut some strips of these Mickeys thinking I would include them, but I end up not. I think I did actually cut them, but I end up not using them. And I had these bows. I thought about using them. They just don't say Animal Kingdom to me, so I decided not to. I kept it pretty simple. So here I'm going to cut this thinking, yeah, let's include a little bit of this. I'm not worried that I cut them. I will use them on other things, for other layers. So I'm okay with that. And I decided that I would tear both ends of each of the strips. Again, trying to get that more natural, organic look to things. And again, using black soot ink. That's my edge ink that I'm going to use throughout this album. So I do a little fussing around with the strips. I'm going to do an L shape with them. I could have left just the side strips, but I liked the idea of covering a little bit more of this paper. Now this paper does have like a teal grid on it, a very light green grid, and some little splatters. And so adding in a little bit of teal color, or this lighter, very light green, is kind of neat too. So I'm not perfectly weaving these in. I'm just tucking some, layering some over and under some of the other papers. And this is the back side of one of the papers. It is shorter, but I'm okay with it. We're going to make it all work. And it's just, those bows are just a different feel from the more rustic look of everything else. So, all right, I go off camera, glued all those down, fussed around a little bit with things so that I had a nice wide space for the actual letters here. And I have to say, I'm really happy with how this came out. Now my red strip there is a little tiny bit short. I wish I had done it a little bit longer. I used what I had, actually. I should have, I tore it thinking it would be a shorter piece, but because of where it appears, it probably should have been the longer piece, so that I could nudge that word kingdom up a bit, but it's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I have this little string of lights that I thought was super cute to add to the bottom. I'm going to just tuck it under a couple of layers. And I'm going to do stars again. I think the stars are going to be a really prevalent theme in this album for some reason. There are quite a few in the laser cuts, but they're very handy. So I'm just going to do a little trio of stars, top and bottom. Now, I did only do 2 sets of these. But then I think what I'll do is, when I have the photo and do some layers behind the photo, I will do another set of stars in the top right corner of the photo. And then that can be my triangle and help tie the photo in with these layers. And of course, I haven't been on my trip yet, so I don't have the photos. But I'm really pleased with this. I'm going to call it a starting point. It's a little bit more than a starting point, but this title page came together really, really cute, I think. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to save these the little stars for later. I'm just checking through my ephemera in my little bins that I'm keeping on the top of my desk there. And looking for anything else that might work. This little postage stamp is pretty cute. It might get added back on there. So I go through all these, and I think in the end, I decide to hold back until I did want a ticket on every page, but I think I may use that as a layer on the photo. So that's me saying, stop trying to force it. It's really cute. Let's get the photo on there later and then add a few more layers. And I'm using some gold spritz, which is the fossilized amber. And just adding that as a finishing touch. I'm really, really happy with it. And I did not do enamel dots. So here I'm sticking this down and I'm going to put a star on it just to remind me that I want stars in that corner of the photo. And there you have it. Please give this video a thumbs up. I have one more title page to do. I hope to get that done today, and I'm off on my trip tomorrow. Thanks a lot, you guys.